Let me know if y'all can hear me in the chat if y'all don't mind. Let me know if y'all can hear me in the chat if y'all don't mind. I need to make sure everything is good to go. Need to make sure everything is good to go. Perfect. Appreciate that, Gabe. I mean, y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here. I'm gonna give like 5 minutes. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I'm gonna give 4 or 5 minutes to let people get in. I know people are at work, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all work remote though. A lot of y'all don't be doing nothing for real, for real. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know how that goes for sure. But I'm gonna give a couple minutes to let people get in. But y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here. We're gonna we're gonna discuss the trade. So give about 4 or 5 minutes, maybe at this point, three or four at this point. Let people get in and join. Am I laggy? Am I laggy on y'all's end or am I good? I'm like laggy on my end, but I'm maneuvering off of a different laptop than usual. I'm maneuvering off of a different laptop than usual. Okay, bet. Y'all said I'm good. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Shout out to everybody in the chat too. Carter, what's up? I see you. Darius, what's happening? Alex, what's goody? While we're waiting for more people to join in, while we're waiting for more people to join in, today is going to be the last day that that our giveaway is open. So if you haven't already, go check us out. I know a good amount of you guys are already on X. If you go to our profile and you see our pinned tweet, you'll see that we're currently in the midst of a 2-ticket giveaway for the New Orleans Saints game this week. Very, very simple to enter. The only thing you have to do is tag 3 friends and let us know who you're going to be taking at the end of the giveaway. So sometime tomorrow, I will collect everybody that has entered on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll put everybody's name on a wheel, and the winner will be contacted. If the winner is not able to attend the game this weekend, we'll do something different for them. We'll work out a piece of a memorabilia or whatever the case may be. But we will select a new winner if that is the case. If we have somebody that can't join, or excuse me, can't attend the game, we will make sure that we select another winner that is able to attend, because we really want to make sure that whoever wins these tickets are able to make the game and show their support for the Carolina Panthers. So if you haven't already, again, go check us out on X, or you can enter on Instagram as well. You have the handles down below, as you see on my banner down below, at FPFO_podcast on X. If you're watching on X right now, shout out to you. Appreciate you for being here. And you can also find us at For Panthers Fans Only on Instagram. I think I've given people enough time to join. Let's say, what time is it right now? Let's say we'll start at 2:41. Let's say we'll start at 2:41. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. I see the chat is jumping on YouTube as well. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here. But definitely stay tuned with us and stay tapped in with us on YouTube, because we have a lot of great content coming out. Ironically enough, we actually just dropped the episode this morning. If you're familiar with if you're unfamiliar rather with how we do things, we pre-record on Monday. We drop every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and we typically do one live a week as well, where we do a game preview. It either happens on Thursday or Friday. I try and have the team on the same page, letting my manager know, our content manager Dylan, let him know what day, so we can do the promotion, so everybody can stay tapped in on that front as well. But yeah, we just released an episode today, and one of the topics that we discussed was the possibility that Deontay Johnson ends up traded. Which, I mean, just based off reports that we saw Monday afternoon, confirmed by Adam Schefter, as well as multiple other sources like Sheena Quick, if you guys are familiar with her. Ian Rappaport also made a comment about it. Carolina Blitz confirmed. All of the beat writers, as well as the national media, etc., did confirm that it was expected that Deontay Johnson would be traded by the deadline next week. And it didn't take much time. It literally 26 hours later, after that report initially broke that Deontay Johnson would be moved, the Carolina Panthers decide to move Deontay Johnson to the Baltimore Ravens, and I'll be completely transparent with y'all. I'm not happy about the deal. I'm not happy about the deal. I am not happy at all about the deal. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the chat. I see a couple of people. I mean, listen, this is going to be another one of those situations where, as a fan base, we probably all won't agree on the decision to move Deontay Johnson. Not only just the decision, but also what we received in return for him. Me personally, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm not here to lie to y'all at all. If you're familiar with the show, Wit for Panthers Fans Only, the podcast that we do, with me as well as myself, myself as well as my co-host Terrence, my producer Tavian, etc. If you're familiar with the podcast, you know we've had this conversation multiple times. And if you're familiar with me and any of my content, and you've seen any of the stuff that I've done, specifically from July all the way up to this point, I have been championing for the Carolina Panthers to sign Deontay Johnson to an extension, to give him a new contract. I've been championing that since the summertime, because I knew that ultimately there was one of two things were going to happen, right? Either he was going to play a full season with the Carolina Panthers and you were going to lose him for free in free agency, or you were going to try and test the waters, see what was going to happen, see if Bryce was able to get the job done, if bringing in a true wide receiver number one into the city, into the wide receiver room would help you. Then you would kind of see if he had what it took. But it was always just a sense of limbo. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and let's speak frankly. Let's speak frankly. It was always just a case of being in limbo, whether you're looking at Deontay Johnson's side of it or the Carolina Panthers side of it. The Carolina Panthers seemed as though initially they didn't know what they really wanted to do. Like, it was really no direction, which is, unfortunately, that's been a lot of the decisions that I've seen made as it pertains to the Carolina Panthers. It's just simply no direction. There's just simply no direction, because honestly, if we're being 100% transparent with ourselves, I mean, I know everybody loves Jalen Coker and the performance that he put up on Sunday against the Denver Broncos, and we've seen him develop and progress relatively quickly, quicker than a lot of other wide receivers, specifically if you look at our room right now, quicker than Jonathan Mingo in particular. If you want to look at Terrace Marshall Jr. and his time with the Carolina Panthers, developed way quicker than him and has produced way faster than both of those guys. So, I mean, it's phenomenal that you have that option. And also it's phenomenal that you drafted Xavier Legette this year in the first round, traded up to get him. But in the grand scheme of things, if we're just being transparent and honest with each other, I would say the Carolina Panthers are damn near in the same exact situation they were last year, if not worse, actually. If not worse. I know that we're having a debate currently about Bryce Young and if he should be starting, whatever the case may be, for the rest of the season. But I would make the argument that the Carolina Panthers are in the same exact situation, if not worse, because of the defense, as well as Bryce Young seeming to not have what it takes to lead a franchise. They're in a worse position. And the move to get rid of Deontay Johnson, listen, you can love it, you can hate it, you can feel however you want about it. And I do encourage you guys, please let me know in the chat, because I will definitely get to the comments. I see a lot of y'all are in here right now. We lit. So shout out to all of y'all. Appreciate y'all joining me on 2:45 on a Tuesday afternoon. Appreciate that. Shout out to y'all. But I mean, you can feel however you want to feel about the deal. But ultimately, what were the Carolina Panthers to do? Now, I will say there's two sides to this thing, right? Well, actually, if you look at it in totality, there's really four sides, but I'll break it down into two sides. So you either love the fact that you traded Deontay Johnson, or you hate the fact that you traded Deontay Johnson. That's one side of it. And the second side of it is, if you were indifferent or you felt as though it was the right move to trade Deontay Johnson, you either are comfortable with what we received in return or you're not. I am under the belief that it was inevitable that the Carolina Panthers were going to have to trade Deontay Johnson, because we've seen too much talent come through these doors, come into this building, and leave for free. We've seen it happen too many times. And unfortunately, like I was trying to tell my co-host, as well as my content manager, as well as my producer, as well as every other Carolina Panthers fan that would listen to me, is unfortunately simply based on the fact that you're not a sexy organization to want to come to right now. You were gonna ultimately have to overpay, and it was gonna be more ideal if you did that before a snap of football was even played in the regular season. That's why I was going so hard in the summertime, because I already knew what time it was. I already knew what time it was. And it literally took Deontay Johnson 6, maybe 7 games to realize, I no longer want to be in Charlotte. I no longer want to be in Carolina. And if you think that I'm just, if you think that I'm just blabbing off or just talking, only thing I would encourage you to do is go look at his press conference when he was in the locker room. Obviously, they opened up for media availability, and people were asking him questions. You can look at his demeanor in that particular video that the Carolina Panthers released. You can look at some of the answers when he kind of deflected accountability off to when he said, I can only play my position. I can only do my job. The tails were there. I mean, it was inevitable. It was inevitable. And this is, again, why I was pushing so hard for the Carolina Panthers to get a deal done during the summer before a snap of regular season football was played, because it was inevitable that one of two things were going to happen. Deontay Johnson was going to play for the Carolina Panthers, and he was going to he was going to play the season out, and he was going to walk at the end of the year for free. That was number one. Or number two, because I mean, you guys know that a lot of people just use us as a stepping stone. I would just point you in the direction of Hassan Reddick. You can go look at Hassan Reddick, and you can feel how you want to feel. Maybe we didn't want to pay him that X amount of dollars, but that's the case. Same thing with Teddy Bridgewater, even though his story didn't necessarily pan out the best. But, the Carolina Panthers are just a stepping stone, just something to get me over, an opportunity. They don't have much talent. I know they don't have much money, but maybe I need to clean up my reputation, or maybe I can show that I still can play, whatever the case may be. But you know what I'll do? I'll just go to Charlotte for a season or a couple of games, show people what I can do, and ultimately I'll leave. So that was option number one. He leaves for free. Or the Carolina Panthers option two, show that they're still not a competitive football team because they have a subpar defense, and playoffs are not even remotely close to being in sight, and Deontay Johnson ends up getting traded. That was my ideology, and that was my thought process when I looked at the Deontay Johnson situation all the way back in June and July. And if you don't believe me, y'all can go to the YouTube channel right now. You're watching on YouTube, or if you're on X, you can go over to YouTube right now, search the G2S network, and just go through my Move to Change videos. Go through my Move to Change videos and go through some of the full podcasts that we did over the summer. I'm pretty sure there's multiple FPFO clips on the YouTube channel as well, where we're discussing Deontay Johnson and what needs to happen, and why I was so hellbound on signing him to an extension before he even stepped foot in Bank of America Stadium to play a down of regular season football. So now y'all kind of understand it. So then it's just very frustrating when I look at the comments after we release videos like we do, whether it be full podcasts or clips. It's frustrating when I look at the comments on YouTube, when I look at the comments on X, when I have to go back and forth with Terrence and Tavian and Dylan, and whoever else that watches football or knows anything about Carolina Panthers football. It's very frustrating when I have to ride that hard. I get crucified. Pause. That was wild. That was wild. My bad. Whoa, that was wild. When I have to go that hard for particular situations, everybody acts like I'm crazy, and then everybody wants to be up in arms when we get fleeced and when we get touched, and not the kindness of manners. And if I'm trying to be very PC right now. So everybody wants to be all up in arms and everything like that when the Carolina Panthers get fleeced yet again. I don't really know. I mean, I told y'all this was going to happen. I told y'all this was going to happen. I mean, the only answer, listen to me, because I don't know. I see a lot of people upset, and whatever the case may be. The only answer for the Carolina Panthers was to sign Deontay Johnson to an extension at the very, very beginning of the season, week 1 or week 2. They didn't do that. You should. The proof was in the pudding right there. The proof was in the pudding right there. I mean, don't be mad at me. And don't be mad at me. Because I told y'all that this was going to be the case. And it's disgusting. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's exhausting, transparently. It really is. It really is. Every time talent comes through those doors, you can best believe, you can bet your bottom dollar, like they say. I think that's a saying. I don't know. But you can best believe that talent will come in and leave the same exact way they came in the span of 2 to 3 years max. That's where this organization has come to. That's what this organization has come to. And then the audacity. Like, it's just before. Like, I really don't know how. I wish that I could just be a fly on the wall on some of these negotiation phone calls, bro. I really do. I really, really do. Because I'm just baffled that the best thing that we could muster up was a pick swap for a 5th and a 6th. I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, if we're just looking at the shit mathematically, if we're just looking at where we currently are in the season right now, the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the NFL by the numbers. I mean, don't get offended with me. By the way, I'm a diehard Carolina Panthers fan. If you're new here, I'm a diehard Carolina Panthers fan. Tatted on me, etc. You see the podcast down below. Been doing that for quite some time now. But I'm baffled and confused, transparently. But I shouldn't be. It's not shocking. It's not shocking. I'm just like in awe, damn near. I'm just baffled, really, because the best you could do was swap a 5th for a 6th. Now, the Carolina Panthers, where I was going with that initially before I went off on my rant, my apologies, my little tangent there. The Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the NFL, currently holding the first overall pick in the 2025 draft, right? When I make a mistake, y'all just check me when I'm wrong. And I promise I'll get through the comments. Just bear with me. I'll make sure that I'll go through everything. I see y'all lighting it up right now on YouTube and X. I promise I'll come to the chat. But the Carolina Panthers are currently the worst team in the NFL, currently holding the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. So that means in the 6th round, because the shit doesn't change unless we move pieces, whatever the case may be. The standard is the selections are already set. 1 through 32, the worst team to the best team. Super Bowl champions at 32, the worst team in the NFL at number 1. It doesn't change. Excuse me. It doesn't change. So we're talking about, we just let go of Deontay Johnson to a Super Bowl contender, nonetheless, for a pick to go up in picks, maybe 5, 6, or 7 slots max. That's what the Carolina Panthers did. And not only did we give up Deontay Johnson, but we couldn't even maintain our 6th. We gave up a 6th and Deontay Johnson to go up approximately 5, 6, or 7 slots max. Because I hate to tell y'all, and y'all can be upset about this if y'all want, but the Baltimore Ravens are for real. Don't let that shit that happened against Cleveland on Sunday fool you, because that's not real. I know a lot of y'all get emotional and a lot of people like overreacting to certain things. What happened in Cleveland to the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday, that was not real. They lost the game, cool, but I'm just here to tell y'all, bro, that they will once again be in the playoffs and they will once again make a deep run. And I know people are going to holler about the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's phenomenal. I know they're the only remaining undefeated team in the AFC. Matter of fact, I know they even clipped Baltimore to start the season off this year. But to be quite frank, I'm not 100% under the belief that with how the Baltimore Ravens are playing, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs, that if the Ravens and Chiefs met in the playoffs and the playoffs started today, I'm not 100% convinced that the Chiefs would clip Baltimore. I'm just not. That's just me personally. And I say all of that to say that the Baltimore Ravens are for real. They will be in the playoffs and they will make a deep, deep push. So we're talking about they're going to have their pick will fall somewhere between 24, 25, and 32 in this draft. So the Carolina Panthers literally moved 6, 7, 8 positions up into the 5th round, not the 3rd or the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about picks that really matter, with all due respect. They moved up to the 5th round. And that's what we were able to get for a star wide receiver like Deontay Johnson. And I guess as a Carolina Panthers fan, I'm just supposed to just sit back and chill and relax and not feel a type way. Not to mention, and I say this only because I'm a tad bit ignorant with how in depth these conversations are and the process that occurs before it's even allowed to release through the media. But I'm not sure if y'all saw the news or not, but Stephon Diggs has officially torn his ACL for the Houston Texans. So they're in need of another wide receiver. Nico Collins is still on the IR. I think he returns in, a week or two, whatever the case may be. Regardless, if they thought that Nico Collins was enough, then they wouldn't have attained Stephon Diggs this offseason. So obviously they have something that they like with having 2 wide receiver ones like a Stephon Diggs and a Nico Collins on their roster. Stephon Diggs had just announced via Adam Schefter as well as everybody else nationally that Stephon Diggs has torn his ACL. If I'm Dan Morgan, as soon as I saw that information, I'm on the phone with Baltimore and saying, hey, something just came up. I need to put a pause on whatever deal we have in place. I'm calling the league office and saying, hold up, twin. Hold up, twin. Hey, I know I said we about to go through with this shit, but hold off just for 1 second. Because I think there might have been a typo. And I got to call them folks down in Houston and see what they're willing to do for me. I got to. Because I just have a feeling that with the current wide receiver market, with some teams that are actual contenders needing some depth in that wide receiver room, it's very, very hard for me to believe that the best the Carolina Panthers could do for Deontay Johnson was a pick swap. You're hard pressed to sell me that. Like, honestly. Let me go through the chat a little bit. Joe, I don't agree with that. Joe. He said should have just kept them and let them walk next because damn. I don't agree with that. I mean, listen, I say all of that about the conversation or whatever the case may be, but I'm happy the Carolina Panthers got something for them. Like, don't get me wrong. I've seen too much talent come through these doors and leave for free for me to be so naive to be just raging out because they got something. At least they got something. We want to look at the bright side, and y'all want to see the optimistic side of JJ. I'll say, hey, Dan Morgan in the front office, congratulations. It's something that we haven't seen too often. The Carolina Panthers having talent and let it go and at least getting something in return. So I don't necessarily agree with that, Joe. I don't think that they should have just let them walk for free. I'm pissed off. I'll tell y'all why I'm mad and why I'm pissed off. I'll just be honest. You know, I'm big into being transparent with the people that listen to me and you know, sacrifice some of their time to or invest some of their time to listen to what I have to say. So I'll just be completely honest. The reason why I'm pissed personally is because I knew this shit was going to happen. That's why I'm pissed. That's why I'm pissed about the situation as a whole. Because I knew this was going to happen. And every single time when I told y'all we need to pay Deontay Johnson, y'all kept telling me, no, let's just wait. Let's just see what he can do. We don't even know if he's a real wide receiver one. You know, we hear the reports about him being a diva in Pittsburgh. We don't know if he's going to affect our locker room. And if he does, in what way will it be positive or negative? Let's just see. Let's just wait. That's what y'all kept telling me in the comments on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. That's what y'all kept saying. When I was saying, no, we need to pay Deontay Johnson now. Even if it's, $15, $16 million a year, hell, even if you have to overpay him, let's just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. We'll deal with the cap space the way we need to deal with it. If we need to backload it, we'll backload it, whatever the case may be. And y'all told me that I was crazy. Y'all told me I was crazy, and y'all told me that I was tripping. That's what y'all told me. I'm just telling you the comments, the overwhelming majority, as well as my co-host and my producer, as well as my content manager, was saying to me that I was tripping. And I see Donald, I see you blowing up the chat saying he doesn't want to be here. Hello. He doesn't want to be here after being here for 8 weeks. And this is a conversation that we had multiple times, preseason, training camp, etc. Is, do you prefer hostages or do you prefer volunteers? I mean, ultimately, that's what the conversation comes down to, because I understand you saying that he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be here now. He doesn't want to be here now after 8 weeks of dealing with the Carolina Panthers and all of their shenanigans and all of the injuries and the defense being out of whack. But this is the thing. If you already handled your business in the offseason and you sign him over the summer like I was championing for, then you wouldn't have had to worry about him being unhappy. If he would have been unhappy, he would have been unhappy making 19, 20, $21 million a year, and knowing that every single day for the next 4 or 5 years he woke up, he was going to be a Carolina Panther, like it or not. Simple as that. Simple as that. And I know that seems like, you want to have guys that want to play for the organization or whatever the case may be. But listen, at the end of the day, with the position that the Carolina Panthers are currently in, we can't pick and choose. We just simply can't pick and choose. We can't pick and choose. Shane, I don't know why you're saying it would have been a mistake. I don't know why people are saying it would have been a mistake. Again, it's just your approach. Do you prefer hostages or volunteers? Because this is the thing, bro. Since DJ Moore, I mean, there was really no hope in that wide receiver room. And I know a lot of people have a lot to say and feel about DJ Moore because, I mean, I personally would make the argument, and y'all might slaughter me and slander me for this, but I would say that if we're listing tiers of wide receivers, I would say Deontay Johnson is in the same tier as DJ Moore for me personally. Maybe I'll get crucified for that. I don't know, and I don't care. That's my personal opinion. Everybody keeps saying draft. Everybody keeps saying, I keep saying, everybody say draft. I don't know what gives you guys this, this misfound confidence that the Carolina Panthers know exactly what they're doing in the draft. I mean, I don't, and that's phenomenal. Draft, yeah, cool. I get it. Draft. Ideally, yeah, draft. But it's been a long time since the Carolina Panthers have hit on a draft pick that makes me feel confident in saying draft over having a guy like Deontay Johnson already in the building. And maybe I'm in the minority in that. I don't know. Thank you, Darius. We missing the draft every year. That is facts. So I don't know why, and this is something that we talked about on FPFO 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know why we have this fascination with draft capital, because the Carolina Panthers have shown the inability to draft properly enough for any draft capital to be beneficial for us as an organization. So I don't know why everybody keeps saying draft. Yeah, we can draft whoever we want to draft, but you have to hit on draft picks. And that's part of our problem right there. That's part of our problem right there, is the fact that the Carolina Panthers don't hit on enough draft picks. So all of this draft capital that we're discussing, the shit is cute. And ideally, you would want to have as much as possible if you're in the Panther situation. But I don't know if we can hit. I don't. Because I'm not sure if y'all been seeing what Trevor Wallace has been putting on film, but it's been extremely subpar. Mind you, that was the Carolina Panthers' 3rd round pick this year. We've yet to see a snap of football from Jonathan Brooks, who was the Carolina Panthers' 2nd round pick this year. You went and got an edge rusher / linebacker and Michael Barrett. He couldn't even make it through training camp with 2 different organizations. So everybody wants to keep talking about draft capital, and this regime has shown me nothing to prove that they know what they're doing from a draft standpoint. And we want to holler draft. I'm gonna go through some of the comments. I'm gonna just go back up. My apologies. I I just had to come in here and get some of that stuff off, bro, because like I said, I'm right now I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated with the situation as a whole. I really am, because like I said, I know it was inevitable, but it's just very frustrating for me personally, because I tried to tell people that the best situation for the Carolina Panthers, I don't care about Deontay Johnson. That's what y'all aren't understanding. That's what's frustrating me as well. I don't care about Deontay Johnson and his want to be somewhere. I don't care, because Deontay Johnson played at a solid level the last 2 years in Pittsburgh, when it was being rumored every single week that he didn't want to be there. That doesn't mean that he can't produce. So I don't really care about Deontay Johnson as much as I care about, once again, another misstep from the Carolina Panthers, this organization, and this front office. That's what I'm personally frustrated about. And I'm also frustrated that every single time when I tell y'all something, y'all's instant reaction when it just seems a little bit unconventional is to just immediately slander me without actually sitting back and thinking critically. Because, like I said, we had this conversation so many times on FPFO. So many times. If you just go back literally to the beginning of September, all the way through August and part of July, we had this conversation nonstop. And I kept trying to tell Terrence, and I kept trying to tell Tavian, and I kept trying to tell y'all on X, pay Diontae now so we don't have to worry about no dumb shit happening down the line. Lo and behold, 8 weeks into the season, Deontay Johnson is traded for a pick swap of a 6th and 5th round pick. That's the best that we could do for Deontay Johnson. QJ said Tepper needs to write a blank check to Deion Sanders and bring Colorado to Charlotte. We need a culture reset. I do think that we need a culture reset, but I don't believe that Dave Tepper would ever. For one, I don't think that Deion Sanders would take that job. That's number one. Number two, I don't believe that Dave Tepper would even remotely think about bringing Deion Sanders to Charlotte. It just seems like their personalities would just kind of collide a little bit. I don't think that would work. I think that actually would be counterproductive. Brendan said, I'm guessing probably a third. No, Brendan, it wasn't a third. Ideally, you would think logically, right? Logically, you would think you have a talent like Deontay Johnson. You should be able to get a third and a fourth at the worst. No, the Carolina Panthers weren't able to do that. Pick swap for a 6th and a 5th. Gave up a 6th to go up 4 or 5 slots to a 4 5th. I mean, shit is just crazy to me. Brendan said the Carolina Panthers don't have anything to play for anyway. No, they don't have anything to play for this year. You're absolutely right. But it's about having cornerstone pieces and keeping those cornerstone pieces in the building. That's what it's about. Because matter of fact, let's have a. I'm glad Brendan said this. And shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Y'all been blowing the chat up. I'm gonna be able to get to some of y'all, but I can't get to all of y'all. Jeff said we had to trade him. He was gonna leave for free anyway. He was already mentally checked out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jeff. I'm not mad at the fact that the Carolina Panthers traded him. I said that earlier. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that the Carolina Panthers traded him, because I rather, like I said, I've seen too many times where the Carolina Panthers have had talent and they've let the talent walk out of the door for free. So I'm not mad at that aspect of it. I'm mad that there wasn't more of an effort put into contract negotiations at the beginning of the season so that we wouldn't have come to this point. That's what I'm frustrated with. That you had, like Omar said, shout out to Omar. Omar said, I don't hate this trade. I think the trade for Diontae was the problem, giving up Deontay Jackson for a rental. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that stance either. But that's why I'm frustrated. We literally traded, and I know Deontay Jackson was going to be cut. Like, I know all of this information. I know that Deontay Johnson was going to be cut. I know that at the time it looked like a phenomenal deal. I know all of these things, but at the end of the day, you traded Deontay Johnson, a cornerback, one of the rooms that you've actually struggled with this season, the cornerback room. You traded him for a guy that you brought in for literally 7 weeks to play 7 games, because we're 8 weeks through the season. He was out this past week. So to play 7 games and to trade him for a pick swap of a 6 and a 5th. That's why I'm frustrated. It's just mismanagement and malpractice. That's why I'm upset. I'm not upset at the trade per se. I'm really not. I'm not mad because like you guys are saying in the chat, which I respect and applaud and appreciate, y'all were absolutely right. He was going to leave for free regardless. There was just simply no way after the first 6 weeks of the year that you really genuinely believed that Deontay Johnson would be returning in the Carolina Panthers uniform after what we had seen from him in this offense, et cetera, et cetera. There was just simply no way that you thought he was going to resign. So at that point, it was inevitable that you had to move him. And then Adam Schefter was working his ass off for I don't know what team. I don't know. He needs to be investigated. But he goes on, Pat McAfee every week or whatever the case may be, and he keeps mentioning Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Deontay Johnson, Deontay Johnson. At that point, we all knew that it was good as fried. Then, the report comes out Monday, which at that point it was inevitable. Just confirmation for us as fans that he would be moved by the deadline. So, I'm like I said, I just feel like the situation was just handled poorly. I really do. And then the compensation, for you to only move up like 5 or 6 like picks, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Brian, I would love for you to give me the details that you're referring to. Brian said, I don't make any sense. You don't know the details. So please give me the details that you're referring to. Somebody please give me the details that I don't know. The Carolina Panthers traded Deontay Johnson and their 6th round pick that they own and control, the first pick in the 6th round. They traded Diontae and the first pick in the 6th round for the rights to the Baltimore Ravens 5th round pick. Meaning wherever the Baltimore Ravens finish, that will be their position within the draft. And that will be the rights that Carolina Panthers own from the deal that was made this afternoon. So what am I missing? He says I make no sense. What am I missing? I'm confused. The compensation was ass. Don't be mad at me, and don't because see, this is another thing that y'all like doing. Y'all try and gaslight me and y'all selves into believing some shit is what it isn't. When I just come on here and I just tell the truth, and I just say I might say it unconventionally, but I'm telling the truth. You don't know if they tried to make it. What I do know, Brian, you're right. I don't know that for to be 100% a fact. I don't know that they didn't try and make a deal. I know that there was absolutely no reports on it. I do know that to be a fact. I do know when both parties were asked about it in the offseason, damn near when Deontay Johnson got here, I know that everybody pushed it off to the back burner. That's what I do know to be a fact. Have you seen anything at all? I've literally seen nothing at all about Deontay Johnson potentially getting a deal or negotiating with the Carolina Panthers for an extension. No, we don't have to wait and see. I've already waited and seen. I waited for the first 8.5, 9 weeks. I've waited damn near longer than that. I've waited since he's been a part of the team to see any reports about him potentially getting an extension, and none have come. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Turn that bell notification on. I'm gonna go through a couple more chat comments, and then I'm gonna wrap up. Just because I feel like I don't want to keep going around the circles. I just wanted to hop on with y'all real quick and just have a conversation. I see people talking about, oh, what did I miss? I see people talking about Jonathan Brooks. I know I brought his name up earlier in regards to the Carolina Panthers draft tactics. No, Brendan, DJ Wanham has not played. He has not played this season. That's another absolutely horrible move that the Carolina Panthers made. Just absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I guess I have some empathy for the situation overall, but it just continues to look incompetent and inept to run a football organization. Whether it be Tepper, whether it be Dan Morgan, or like whoever you want to put the blame on, the Carolina Panthers are just a fucking joke in the NFL right now. They just are. No matter how you look at it, if you want to look on the field, if you want to look in the coaching staff, which I'm a fan of Dave Canales, but I'm just talking about what I believe that the perception is of the Carolina Panthers. You can look on the field, you can look on the coaching staff, you can look at the athletic training department, you can look at ownership, you can look at the front office. Every aspect of the Carolina Panthers right now is just a laughing stock. And it just seems like anytime you want to get over or anytime you want to get right, the only thing you have to do is dial 704, whatever the fuck else comes behind that, and you'll be able to find that or get that off against the Carolina Panthers. That's how it feels as a fan. Shout out Forrest Kitty. Lucas, what's up, man? What's popping? Says JJ, we're sitting with the number one pick in the draft. What do you think we do with it? I don't know. Nothing. To be honest, nothing. Omar, I'll get to you in one. I'll get to you in 1 second. I'll get to you in 1 second. What do I think that we'll do? I honestly don't know. I don't know. I mean, because this is the thing, and we talked about this. We had a conversation about this yesterday as well, or this morning, technically at 9 a.m. on FPFO. We had a conversation about the quarterbacks, the quarterback position overall. And I've been seeing some rumors and stuff like that about, Dave Canales wanting his quarterback. I don't put it past the Carolina Panthers to potentially look at quarterback this with a number one overall pick. I don't. Do I think it would be one of the dumber moves they've made over the past couple of years? Yes. What I think they should do is go defense, more specifically edge rusher. But what I think they will do, I don't know. I don't know. I really, really don't. Like I said, this organization never ceased to amaze me. So, or never fails to amaze me, rather. So, to be quite frank, I honestly have no idea what the Carolina Panthers will do with their draft pick, with the number one overall pick. Should we stay in the same position, which I assume we will? I honestly have no idea. What do you think? What do you think? What do y'all think? I think that if you look at the way they tried to build this team around Bryce Young and how bad it's failed, how miserably it's failed, I think that at this point it's inevitable that you have to try the opposite way. So you have to try and build the right way now. So for me personally, the only answer is edge rusher. And even if it's not an edge rusher, it has to be defense. That's the only answer. That's the only answer. I mean, I'll just be frank with you. Yeah, Omar, I agree. There's so many things that we can do. There's so many things that we can do with the number one overall pick. Like I wouldn't be mad personally at moving back. For real, for real. Especially if you do decide to go edge or whatever the case may be. Just with you have probably right now about 3 or 4 guys, edge rushers in particular, that I would be comfortable in taking. So, if that's the case, I'm okay with potentially moving back. I am. Because a couple of these teams, are in the market for a quarterback. A couple of teams that are within the top 6, 7, 8 picks are more ready for a franchise quarterback than the Carolina Panthers are. So, I mean, I think there's extreme value in holding that pick. And I wouldn't be mad if we moved back and got more capital, whether it be for this year's draft or next year's draft. I wouldn't. Omar, you had a question earlier. Oh, do I think that we move Adam Thielen? I don't know, bro. I mean, if you only get what you get for Deontay Johnson, I just honestly do. I mean, I have absolutely no idea what you could possibly get for Adam Thielen. I really don't. I mean, you look at an aging wide receiver currently on the injury reserved. Not sure how his body will recover from the injury that he's dealing with, that he suffered against Vegas. So, I mean, I don't put it past the front office in this organization to potentially move Adam Thielen. I just don't know what teams would want Thielen, for one, and for two, I'm not sure what you would get in return for him. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Adam Thielen is still under contract for the next year, maybe two. And with you only having really, I mean, XL and Coker, if we're just being honest, like David Moore, shout out to him. Mingo, like Mingo has disappointed me so much that the only receivers that I can realistically acknowledge and being comfortable with building and growing our future with right now is XL and Coker. I think it's too much of a. I don't think that the reward is worth the risk for you to move Adam Thielen, just because I don't know what you would get for him. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to tell me that we should move on from Adam Thielen for a 6th or 7th round pick. And I just have a hard time believing there's any team in the NFL that would give up a 4th or a 5th for Adam Thielen after we just saw what Baltimore gave up for Diontae. Like, the market is very, very clear. I mean, we just saw DeAndre Hopkins go for what, a 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, and I mean, I know that DeAndre Hopkins of today is not the same DeAndre Hopkins that we all know. It ain't Nunk. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Nunk still, but you know, that's kind of that kind of tells you where the market is right now. And what did Amari go for? What did Amari Cooper get traded for? Because he just got traded as well. What, last week? I just don't know. I just don't know really. Bro said we'll get a bag of Skittles for Thielen. Nah, for real. For sure, for sure. The Bills sent a third. So, okay, cool. So Amari went for a 3rd. DeAndre went for a 4th. What do y'all believe realistically that Thielen would go for? Diontae went for a 5th. Diontae went for a 5th. Nunk went for a 4th. And Amari Cooper went for a 3rd. Now, realistically, what do y'all believe we'll get for Adam Thielen? You know, I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm not even going to tell y'all what I think that we'll get. But, you know, there's no point in even thinking about trading him right now, just because you would get no return. It'd be no return at all. It'd be counterproductive, in my opinion, to move him. Darius said a bag of Lay's classics. Yeah, no cap, nigga. And to be quite honest with you, it wouldn't even be the big bag. It wouldn't even be the big bag. It would be the small bag, the little individual bag that they give the kids after the baseball games. That's what you'll get in return. That in a Kit Kat bar. That's what you'll get in return for Adam Thielen. Yeah, and really, Trill, I'm under the belief that that's what we will get to, because, like, realistically, with the receiver market the way it is now, with the Bills getting another receiver, with the Kansas City Chiefs getting another receiver, with the Baltimore Ravens now getting Deontay Johnson, who do you call and ask them, hey, do y'all need another receiver because y'all are trying to make a push in the playoffs? I guess maybe Washington, maybe. With the news of Stephon Diggs being out for the year, maybe Houston. But realistically, what are those? Brendan said, and no drink, not for sure. And no drink. That's what you'll get for him. Because I don't know. I mean, you call those two teams, and I don't know what they're willing to give up, bro. So the hassle of trying to move Adam Thielen to me is not worth it. I don't believe and that's another thing that y'all are very funny about. Y'all are very funny about this, and this is kind of like the last thing that I'll say before I wrap up here because I don't want to hold y'all too long, and we've been on here for about an hour now. But it's really funny to me that y'all slander Deontay Johnson and say that he doesn't want to be here and do this and that, say this and that. The deal was good because we got something in return and all of that stuff. And I agree with that part of the conversation and the argument. But I never hear any people talking about Adam Thielen not wanting to be here. I never hear people talk about that. And I think at every opportunity, at every turn, anytime Adam Thielen has had the opportunity to send little subliminal shots at the Carolina Panthers or to tell the media and fans that he really doesn't want to be here, Adam Thielen has done it every single opportunity he's had. And y'all never talk about that. And so why is that? That's what I want to know. Don't even answer in the chat. I just want y'all to answer internally. Don't answer me. It's a hypothetical. Not even a hypothetical. It's rhetorical. It's rhetorical. Don't answer for me. Why is it that y'all always, now the stance is that Deontay Johnson never wanted to be here. He didn't want to be here. We couldn't get a deal done. We offered him this and that, this and that. He didn't want to be here. Now that's the narrative with Deontay Johnson. Why is that never the narrative about Adam Thielen? Why do y'all never acknowledge that? Why do y'all never acknowledge that? But then I'm just going to sound like a crazy maniac again. Then I'm going to sound like a crazy maniac. The Panthers have no plans on trading cornerback J.C. Horn or Chuba Hubbard. That's good news. That's great news. But yeah, I mean, that's the last question that I want to leave y'all with. Donald, he is a hostage. Hey, but you see, this is the thing. This is the thing. And this is why I always say I don't care if you're a hostage or a volunteer, personally. I really don't. Once you get that money, you locked in. Once you sign your name on that dotted line, you locked in. Put his ass in a 360 for all I care. Once you sign that deal, you locked in. Because this is the thing about Adam Thielen, what I know. Even though I know for a fact that he doesn't want to be here, I'll never challenge or question his work ethic, and I will never challenge or question his ability to do what he does well. I never will. I never will. Because though he's a hostage every single day, based on what I saw in training camp, as well as what I see on film, he goes out, he produces, he works hard, and he's one of the hardest working men on the field every single day. Every single day. So hostage or volunteer, regardless, he's still going to produce to the highest level that he has the ability to produce, just simply based off his work ethic. And yes, he is a hostage. So that's why I know hostage situations will work. Now, the faster the Carolina Panthers realize that, the better off we'll be as a fan base and as an organization. Simple as that. He said my Ravens will be back for Clowney. With all due respect, y'all can have him. With all due respect, y'all can have him. Because realistically, I mean, do we it's the last thing that we want to do with this hour. And y'all tell me if y'all want to do this, because I don't know why Wi-Fi, is that his name? Yeah, I don't know why Wi-Fi came in here talking about y'all will be back for Clowney. Y'all can have him, bro. I don't know if the chat wants to do this, but do we even need to spend time wasting time pulling up Jadeveon Clowney's stats this season? Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Wi-Fi, y'all can have him. Y'all want him back, y'all can have him. And I'm talking about compensation with Deontay Johnson. Y'all can have him for free. Matter of fact, we'll take a 7th, just so you know the paperwork and everything. There won't be no holdups on that front. Nah, Waffle, I know. I'm trolling. I hope my tone be off, bro, but you gotta understand, like I do this shit. So I wasn't I wasn't coming off at you. I wasn't talking crazy to you or nothing like that. I'm just saying the nigga ain't done shit for us. So, it might serve his career better to go back to Baltimore. Because he has done nothing for us personally. And it seems like y'all could probably use another edge rusher or two. So, mutually beneficial. Y'all give us a 7th round pick and y'all can get Jadeveon Clowney back. Force said the senior center coming for Clowney. Yeah, I don't know, bro. He's been very disappointing to me this season. I'll be honest. When I went to training camp and I was seeing what he was doing in training camp, you would have been hard pressed to tell me in July, beginning part of August, that Davion Clowney wasn't poised to have a career year. You would have been hard pressed to tell JJ that at that time span or at that particular point in time. You would have been hard pressed to tell me that because I would have called you every name but the Son of Christ. No cap. If you joined a little bit late, we just had a discourse about the trade to send Deontay Johnson to the Baltimore Ravens. You can rewind it back, or you can go, if you're watching on X and you don't have the ability to rewind, you can go on YouTube and find us at the G2S Network. Just to catch that conversation. Also, I mentioned in the first couple of minutes that we are doing a ticket giveaway for the New Orleans Saints game. I know a lot of you guys came in after I made this announcement or said this. Probably about 19 or 20 hours remaining on that giveaway. We will announce a winner tomorrow at some point via all of our social media. But you do still have time to enter. So if you want to take the time right now, you can either go on X and look at the pinned tweet, or you can go on our Instagram and it'll be very easy for you to find the specific post that we're running the giveaway on Instagram. The steps are very, very simple. All you have to do is tag 3 friends. Let us know who you're going with. Everybody that follows those very, very basic 2 steps, and maybe it's 3. Maybe I said you have to, maybe we said you had to like the post as well. Let me go see. Maybe I should know that as I'm promoting. Maybe I should know that. Yeah, tag 3 friends, like the post, and let us know who you're going with. Very simple. You follow those very, very simple 3 steps, your name will be entered on the wheel for 2 free tickets to the Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints this Sunday, November 3rd at 1 p.m. Very, very simple. The reason why we're doing it is just simply because we wanted to show some appreciation. This team doesn't really give their fan base much hope. So everybody that continues to rock with us and continues to support us as a podcast, as a network, et cetera, we wanted to give the opportunity, to go check out the Carolina Panthers versus the Saints. So this is strictly just an appreciation thing. We don't, I spoke with our manager, Dylan, and I told him, listen, bro, this one is not for us to see significant growth on any of our social media platforms. It's not to try and run watch time up. None of those things are the case this time. It's not promotional for us. It strictly is an appreciation. So if you've been rocking with us still at this point or through this point of the season, and you've been tapped into the social media and the YouTube and the videos and things of that nature, you will know what we have going on. I didn't want it to get convoluted with people, just random people that just see a giveaway, because, oftentimes that happens when we do our larger ones that run for 2 or 3 weeks, whatever the case may be. You get a whole influx of different people just following and interacting with the post just because they want to win something new. This go round, I didn't want that to be the case. I really didn't. I wanted to just show appreciation for the people that have been rocking with us and been down with us. throughout the duration of this season up to this point. So you do have the opportunity still again to enter that right now. And again, the winner will be announced tomorrow. If we have a winner that is not able to attend the game or not able to make the game, whatever the case may be, we will make sure that we give them a piece of memorabilia or something to show our appreciation for them participating in the giveaway. However, at that point, we will select a new winner just to ensure that whoever wins the tickets will have the opportunity and will definitely be at the game. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. You guys got a free hour out of me, a free 60 minutes. If you've not been in tune, you haven't had your bell notification on or whatever the case may be, we did release a full episode of For Panthers Fans Only podcast this morning at 9 a.m. So if you want to go over to YouTube right now at the G2S Network, you can check that out. We release on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can always catch us there. It's always a premiere. There's always people in the chat communicating and just kind of reacting to, what was said or whatever the case may be, the specific topic that we're discussing at that time. So highly, highly encourage you to go check us out there at the G2S Network. Like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, tap in with us if you ever just want to have a conversation or whatever the case may be. You find our socials right down below. Also, typically in the YouTube descriptions, we have all of our personal Instagram accounts linked to that. So you can always tap in with us on that level as well. I've had a lot of different conversations with you guys via social media. Met a lot of you guys out in public, you know what I'm saying, whether it be on the road or in Bank of America. So, just trying to build a community, man. Just trying to build a community. So highly encourage you to check us out everywhere you see down below. And yeah, Forest City, keep pounding, man. Keep pounding for sure. And I appreciate you. Those are the type sentiments that we receive that keeps us going and keeps us wanting to keep creating content for you guys and doing the best job at it possible, and doing, performing at a high level every single week, even when we have a subpar team, is because of comments like that, literally. No cap. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that for sure. Yeah, Ricky, I did see that the Carolina Panthers said that they would not be trading Chuba or JC, so that's good news. That's good news. Maybe that means that Chuba Hubbard gets a contract at the end of this year. I don't know. We'll discuss it on our live on Thursday. We will be going live to preview the New Orleans Saints matchup week 9. We will be going live on Thursday evening this week. So make sure to tap in and turn that bell notification on. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you didn't get the opportunity, again, and you're watching on X, you can go to YouTube, find us at the G2S Network, and you'll be able to rewatch the whole thing. So yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We'll talk very soon. Peace.